Welcome to the Studio Chat podcast. My name is Barbara Thompson. Each week I'll be bringing you a self-care expert or a message to help you to discover how to live your best life and understand your mind-body connection. Thanks for spending some time with me today. Now, let the Studio Chat begin. On this episode of Studio Chat, I am joined by Beck. Beck is an ICN fitness pro, a coach, a mum to 2 boys, and the owner of Becks Fitness. She helps you to shift your mind and body to get results with training and nutrition on a personalised approach. We chat about her journey and how she got into fitness and how it's turned into a career for her that she absolutely adores as a fitness coach. She shares with us how she juggles being a mum, a business owner, and still makes time to train in the gym. We also talk about resistance training. Does it make you bulky? Why should we do it? If we're new to the gym or going back to the gym, what are ways and tips that can help us get motivated? What are the best exercises for women? Social media and body inspo. How important is form over how heavy we lift? We talk about food and calories and when the best time is to start training, the benefits of having a coach or a trainer, competitions, how important it is to invest in yourself, and so much more. Join me as Beck and I chat about health, fitness, wellness, and all sorts of things. Today I have the beautiful Beck with me. Hi, Beck.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
This chat is something that is really close to my heart and something that I think people really need to know about. So I'm really honoured and it's a privilege to have you here today. So thank you.
Appreciate it.
So for my listeners that are listening today, can you share a little bit about you, Beck, and what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. My name's Beck. I'm a certified trainer and nutrition coach. I'm also a mum. I've got 2 boys. So one's 10. He's actually 10 in July and the other one's 7. They keep me very busy, but I love them to bits. And I think, having that energy and that vibe, it keeps me on my toes. It keeps me moving a lot. I've been working in the fitness industry for over 10 years now. I started online, I think it's about 3 or 4 years now, going into 4 years, I think so. I've learnt a lot actually doing online. So it's taught me a lot how to structure my business a bit better, and becoming better at it, learning people's personalities, not just being face to face, but actually, trying to learn about them a lot more being online. So there's a lot more work involved. I do have a home studio, which I love. I still love doing face-to-face PT because I think people need that human interaction. So I don't think I could ever let go of it. Having that at home, my husband actually set it up for me. I did work at a gym many, many years ago, and it was getting too much with the kids. Having Jude, my second child, it was just too much. Waiting for my husband to get home and then rushing to the gym. I love the experience. I think having that experience working at the gym taught me a lot as well, just to really build up that, judging people's character, learning about different personalities, getting me in the deep end, which actually helped me a lot to run my own business. And then, I've been working from home for quite some time now. I think Gabriel was, I think he was 6 years old. I started part-time at home. And then, Jude was 3 months. I started working full-time from home since then. And I love it. And I actually love doing online, just meeting so many different people and, really teaching them how to take control. I guess they have more control over their training. And I'm just there in the background, but they get to learn a lot more too. And it's quite simple when they do want to give it a go, and having I put instructional video links so they can understand it. I do a lot of me videos so they can see me trying to correct them with the form. So they see a lot of me. It's not just I'm in the background. They actually see a lot of me with personalised online coaching, which is great. So, yeah.
I've worked in the industry for a long time, since I was about 18, in and out of gym my whole life, and I know the atmosphere, and I know amazing things that you would have learned. But the reason
some people get a bit scared too, to take that that step to go, oh, I've never done online coaching before. It's, it's a bit of a, am I going to be okay with it? How does it all work? It's actually very simple. And I have a lot of mums that do it as well. And I think it's great that they're taking that step forward and challenge. And you can do it in the comfort of your own home, if you have any equipment at home, at the gym. And I think it's good to have a coach or a PT, especially when you are starting at the gym. And I always say, get started, don't wait. If you can get some extra guidance, go to the gym and get the person that's going to take you through it and, give you the correct program set up for you, not just a generalized program. Because a lot of people go, I can't do that. I don't know how to do that. I don't know where to start. So having a more personalized approach, it helps that individual to get started on their own terms.
Yeah, I love that. And I think at any stage of someone's fitness or health journey, it's a good idea to have a coach.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I always encourage it, PT or coach, no matter what it is, wherever you're getting started in life and you wanted to try and transform, your physical health, mental health, have guidance. I think you need that support.
Yeah, everything's connected, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, the reason why I invited you on today was because I've been, this sounds creepy, but I've been watching your social media. That's
okay. I love it.
And what I love about you, and I really wanted people to know what got you into fitness and about your journey, is what I love about you, Beck, is you really explain everything really well, to do with nutrition, to do with calories, to do with form. You make it like okay and acceptable for women to lift heavy, to train.
Thank you. I do my best.
Yeah, but
I hope it's clear enough.
It's so refreshing. And
Yeah,
that's why I want people to know about you and what you do, because you're really special in that way, that it's like I've seen many trainers over the years. I used to be married to one, so I know that world really well, and you're really refreshing. And just if you follow Bex on her Instagram page and stuff too, there's just so many helpful tips and tricks. But what I love about you is you are you, and you're authentic, and you're real.
Thank you. I try to keep it that way, and I do my best. What got me started into my own transformation or got me into fitness actually, is my own transformation, I should say. I hated the way I looked. I hated the way I was feeling. I had some bad habits. I did everything. Everything you can think of. I used to smoke. I used to drink. And I was depressed. And I hated that feeling of not being happy, like not being happy with myself, not looking in the mirror, not seeing what I want to see. And, I decided to make a change. And one thing is, my husband actually encouraged me to start getting fit, and I wanted to lose a bit of weight before I got married. So he helped me. He actually trained me. And he had nothing to do with fitness. He had a bit of, kickboxing background. So he started training me, and I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. I'm like so unfit. I hated it. But I kept going with it. I did the best that I could. I transformed a bit, and then I realized, no, I've got to take it more seriously, fix my diet a lot more. And I kept going with it. And I decided to set up my own little gym at home. And I just, did a bit of cardio. I did lots of cardio, actually. I'm not going to say a little bit. I did lots of cardio. Didn't know a thing or two much about weight training. A lot of sit-ups, like, the basic things that you see on the internet, you look for it. And then I started to transform, and I had others looking at me because I just stayed consistent, and I decided to quit my habits, quit drinking, quit smoking, really push that party side a lot aside. And I wanted to really take control of me and every choice that I'd made to better my life. And the job that I was in as well, I didn't really like it. So I was in an admin position, and just going to work every day is just depressing. My whole life was depressing. I hated waking up in the morning and, doing the same old thing each and every day. And I kept transforming, and I had others going, what are you doing, Beck? You're looking amazing. I'm like, just making better choices. Decided to, train and take care of my health, eat better. Had no idea about calories, macros, protein, like nothing. But I just stayed consistent, and it took years. And, people saw the change in me. They saw that I was happier, I was fitter, I was stronger. And then I thought, you know what, come train with me. And I had a couple of friends, in the afternoons after work. Yeah, Beck, I'd love to come and train with you. I ended up having my own little group class. in our backyard, and I decided, you know what, this is actually quite fun if I could do this as a career. So I looked into it and actually went to a college in Sydney. I'm originally from Sydney, so we moved down to Wollongong over 11 years ago now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I, qualified in my degree, and I continued the group classes because it was so much fun. I did it for free, and everyone just loved to be around me and, being a part of a group and, having a bit of fun and, staying fit. So yeah, I continued to do that. And then it was so hard though. Like when I started my business, I quit my job. It was the hardest thing on earth. Honestly, it's so competitive. And then, but I stayed persistent. My husband's looking at me, he goes, babe, you're doing well, but, maybe find another job. I'm like, no, I'm going to pursue this. I just kept pushing for it because I loved it. And once I set my mind on something, I can't let go of it. I have to make sure that I can achieve it to the best that I can. And yeah, we moved down to Wollongong. I found a job in 2 weeks at the gym that was local. And yeah, I built my business up. I built my name up. I met so many people. My life changed because I changed, and I was changing for the good for me. And I really wanted, people to see that I could help them, because if I can do it, you can do it. And that's what I wanted to really achieve. And I still learnt a lot with PT. Like I really had no idea. And over the years, experience really helped, and, studying a bit more with nutrition and training. It helped me to, I built my name up. I worked based on referrals a lot. And then, I ended up at home and online. And so I am here where I am now. So
Beck, what an inspiration. I know there's a lot of
dirty, yeah.
It's such an inspiration. And you know what I love about you too is you were honest that at the beginning you didn't like training.
I didn't. Yeah.
It was hard. And that's why when a lot of people walk into the gym for a first time and they can scan the room and quite easily feel lost, but quite easily look at people and go, oh, they look like that. Like no one knows. Everyone's got to start from somewhere.
That's right. Yeah.
And
people never see someone's journey, like from how did they get there? You're not going to see how they got there. You're just going to see them and how they are today. Most of the time I still don't like to go to the gym, but I know that feeling afterwards. I'm always going to feel good. I'm going to feel, more clarity. I'm going to feel clearer in the head. I'm going to feel better in the body. I'll get through my day a lot better without being stressed, having anxiety. That's my thing. And I enjoy going. I push myself to go because I know my body needs it. My mental health needs it. And if you don't put those challenges in front of you to push yourself to achieve something in life, you're always going to feel like life is always going to be a struggle. It's like, I can't do that. It's too hard. Like, everything's hard in life. And I think, pushing yourself to get where you want to be, you have to keep pushing yourself. And motivation does die down. We rely on motivation a lot. And I do say that to most of my clients, like, don't rely on motivation. Yeah, you feel motivated at the start, but you need the discipline, but you also need the drive. You need that bigger goal. Where are you going to see yourself? Always have that picture in your head. This is where I want to be. This is where I want to be. Premeditate it. If that's where you want to be, keep thinking that's where I'm going to be. Like, see yourself in the future, and that's where you're going to be. But yeah, you need to push it.
Yeah. And you used a few words there. You used consistency.
Yeah.
And you used also hard. And that's what I find I say with a lot of my clients too, is it's hard being unfit, overweight, unhappy, not sleeping, but it's hard learning about how to eat. It's hard learning to train. It's hard changing your lifestyle. And as you said, it's all hard.
Yeah, everything's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard of being in the same position where you are. And I find I don't want to be stuck here forever. I want to keep moving forward. Yeah, it's going to be hard. It's going to be challenging, but I'm going to be learning things. I'm going to be transforming things, and I'm going to be happier. There's always going to be hard, like you said.
Yeah, it's I think that'll be really refreshing for people to know that when they see your videos and see you training, like, here's a pro, she knows what she's doing, she's so good, wish I could be like that, or wish I could go to the gym, I don't feel like going today. So thank you for being honest, saying days you don't feel like going.
Yeah, like I have a lot of those days, and a lot of those days I'm tired, like mentally I'm tired. being a mum, it can be quite challenging, and just trying to, have a peaceful morning. It never happens. And just, but that helps me. That's my time out. I need to go. I need to push it for me. So I'm happier. And when I'm happier, my kids are happier, my family's happier. You need to release that tension that's in your body. If you don't, there's different ways of doing it. And if it's training for most people, if it's, yoga, meditation, I always recommend find your niche as well. Like, don't just rely on one source of releasing your tension. There's so many different ways to do it. But yeah.
So, okay, let's talk about one of my favorite subjects. So let's talk about resistance training. And does it make you bulky? And why should we do it? Because I know a lot of women are afraid of resistance training. So yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts on
Absolutely not. Okay, go hard, go heavy. I always say, like, push. Like, if you're just going there, just, playing around with the weights and, don't really feel like you're getting much out of your session, you're not pushing hard enough. I always encourage women, push hard, progress. Like, progressive overload is so important in training. It teaches your body to push harder, to transform. If you really want to transform, you've got to push. So I always encourage women, like, focus on getting strong. Like, if you've got a weakness that you'd like to get stronger with, push towards it. Bulking, I think it's becoming a myth now. There's a lot more honesty on social media, which I'm so happy for. I used to be scared of, weight training, thinking, no, I just do the high rep stuff. I don't want to get bulky. No, go heavy, go hard. I always encourage women, feel that empowerment. I love to push so heavy because I'm like, look what I lifted today. And I show my husband, like, look, babe, look what I lifted. And he goes, oh my God. He goes, babe, you sure you're lifting too heavy? I'm like, no. I go, no, I've got it all under control. With good form. And as long as you have a good coach or a good PT that teaches, like I always say, technique first before you do push too heavy. But yeah, don't be afraid. Like, go hard, go heavy if you can, and enjoy it. Like, enjoy being strong. And I think women need that. They need that empowerment to feel strong in the gym and just not hide away from, the weight section where all the men are.
Yeah.
Going deep. Yeah.
Yeah. And what I find when I go into a gym is everyone is too busy into themselves. Like, when you walk in, I think everyone's looking at you. And I always love going to the weights where all the guys are, because they'll always say, hey, how are you? I'm very friendly. And, that's what I say to some of my clients too. I don't know if you find this, but when you walk into a gym and you see like maybe some bodybuilders or powerlifters or real experts that visually think, oh my gosh. A little secret here is sometimes they're the most self-conscious people in the gym. But
that's right. Yeah.
People would never know that. And they see me, and I always gravitate towards them because that's who I've trained with. So even right now, when I'm not physically like fit as like I used to be, I'll still go stand next to them because I feel comfort in that.
Yeah.
And it inspires me. Yeah. But I know what it takes to get there. But I know how they feel, because people don't go near them in the gym because people think, I don't know, maybe they're
arrogant, judging them, or they feel a bit intimidated. A lot of people in the gym aren't caring about other people in the gym. They're just there. They've got their own insecurities. We all do in the gym. But a lot of the time they're just thinking about what they have to do in the gym, and they don't care how you're, looking or what you're lifting. They're there to do their own thing. And a lot of people need to know that. Just go and get started. Don't worry about others. Focus on what your program is, or focus on what you need to do in the gym. And just, trying to get out of that comfort zone.
Yeah. And you touched on it a little bit before. How important is form over heavy when you lift?
So important, honestly. Like, I used to have ego lifts. I used to lift heavy just because I wanted to lift so heavy. I haven't injured myself, but I have put myself out a couple of times just because I had to lift it, because I felt so good. I just wanted to lift it. I wanted to look good lifting it. Yeah, form is so important. Just proper technique, having the right guidance to really correct it, feeling what you need to feel in the training session, whatever exercise you're working on. Yeah, form over ego lifting. Yes, 100%.
And do you find too, when we talk about heavy lifting, I used to find when I used to have a trainer that we used to lift very heavy, and we used to do it quick. So when you lift a weight that's really deeply heavy and you do it quick, it's actually way easier. So you can lift quite heavy and do the reps quite quick and short. But then if you do them with proper form and focus on the mind
time and attention, time and attention. Like there's certain exercise you could do as a quick lift depending on what you're training for. If you're training for powering, conditioning, but if you're really focusing on hypertrophy movements, just time and attention, focusing on that muscle working properly and having that mind muscle connection to get the muscles working. Because you could lift the weights fast and not really focusing, your mind really won't connect with what you're trying to achieve. And you're there to tear those muscle fibers in order to create and go home, recover. But that's what you're there for, is just to really pull those muscles where it needs to be and, push them.
Yeah. So it's really important for people to know that. And if there's anyone listening that's new to the gym or going back to the gym, do you have any tips of people to help them get back in, or to kind of I don't really like saying get motivated, but really that's what it is.
Yeah.
Have you got any tips to help people
get started? Don't be afraid. I do always say, like, have a program set out for you to do. Like, don't just go to the gym and think, I don't know where to start, because that's where you might get started for a week or two, 4 weeks comes into it, and then you lose that motivation, and then you walk out the gym and go, I don't know what to do. Like, you lose that confidence trying to get started in the gym. Do get a coach or a PT just to show them around the gym, show them what to start on. If you are a beginner, have a program that's set out for you as an individual, and have a goal. Like, you need to have a goal, like it's a short-term goal, whether it's a long-term goal, and stay consistent at it. But I recommend just get started. Don't wait for it. Don't think, I'll just push it aside. I'll wait later. I don't have time right now. Start. We've got life. Life is, it's never ending, and we've got a long journey ahead of us, and there's no time wasting. Like, just start.
Great advice. So do you have any, when we talk about females especially, are there any best exercises for women to do?
I think all exercises, and I think big compound lifts are important too. Like, don't be afraid to go with, you might see some men doing those certain exercises. Do it too. Like, I think there's no perfect exercise. I think there's a lot of exercises that we need to do, and I think just focusing on what you need to get strong with, or how you want to transform your body. But I always recommend, like, stick to the basics. Don't complicate it. You got your basic squats. Learn to deadlift. Deadlifts aren't, a bad exercise, and a lot of people will demonize it too. Oh, it's unsafe. No, if you do it right, with the right form, with the right weight, the right guidance, give it a go. Give it a go. Those basic exercises. Don't. A lot of women will see, like, these complicated things on social media. A lot of booty band stuff. A lot of glute stuff. Just, if you work towards the basics, get stronger with it, and you'll be surprised how much your body will transform in a quicker time frame, and not just playing around with the weight and trying to find, but that girl's doing that on social media, I'll give it a go because she's got that body and I want to achieve that as well. It's not going to happen like that. Learn the basics. The basics are important.
Yeah, so you've just brought up a really great topic, so let's dive into that for a little bit. Let's talk about social media. Yeah, so it's good and bad. So do you find that when you have new clients, do they bring photos or something to you of what they want to look like?
Yeah, a lot of the time. I always encourage them, don't try to be someone else. You can never be someone else or look like anyone else. Have an idea of how you want to look. It's good to look at others and say, it'd be good to kind of look like that, but you can never be that person. You can never have their same physique. You can never have their same, way of training. You don't know their lifestyle. You don't know how they've gotten there. You don't know what they're eating. You don't know what their work lifestyle is. Like, I always encourage, you will never be like someone else. Have an idea in your head of how you want to look, how you would like to get there, how you want to achieve it. But just ignore what you see and how you see. Like, when someone sends me, body goals, this is what I want to look like, you won't look like that person. It's impossible because you don't know their genetics, you don't know their bone structure, Like there's so many things that come into play, and it's impossible. I'm just going to say it's impossible to look like someone else because of their life and their body.
And do you have any clients that come to you and say to you, like most of the time people would come to you obviously for the mental aspect, but also the weight loss and the transformation aspect, and do they think, do they say these kind of words to you that, you know, I can't wait to lose weight so I can do XYZ, or I can't wait to look like this? What are your thoughts on when clients go through a transformation? Does it make their, like, sure, there are parts that make their life better, but I think there's a misconception that people think when I get to this size or I lose this weight, XYZ is going to happen.
No, like don't let it stop you. If you're wanting to achieve something, work towards it, but don't let you looking a certain way or you being a certain way or being fit or being strong to achieve that is going to make you happy. Like that's not going to make you happy just because you have to transform. No, like there's other things going on mentally. If you're only wanting those results to do something, there's something else going underneath. Like you need to look deeper to find out what's going on truly mentally. But don't let a physical appearance change what you want to achieve in life. Like I think it's so important. And I always say, like, and I always try to separate the two, like with weight loss and fat loss, they're two separate things as well. Like don't just rely on the scale weight to make you happy. Like don't let that number define who you are. And I'm going to be happy because I'm going to be, 60 kilos, or I'm going to be 55 kilos, whatever your weight goal is. Don't let that define who you're going to be. And you're going to be happier because of that scale weight is down.
So to summarize, for anyone listening to this today, if they're thinking that their life is going to be better, like I don't like talking numbers, but let's just quickly, just to give a perspective. So if someone's listening to this today going, oh, they keep every Monday morning comes around, okay, I really want to get a trainer, I want to get a coach because I want to be like a size 10 or a size 12. I want to be like 60 kilos or whatever, because, I might get the perfect partner, or I might feel like amazing. My life's going to be so much better when I look pretty and then I'm lean.
Yeah.
This, like, it doesn't happen, does it?
No. It's so important to understand that. Like I say as well, like when you are using numbers are only used as a tool to track your progress, whether you're in a fat loss or a building phase. We only use those as tools, but visual changes are also important, just to look at you visually, seeing the changes, but not just visually, like how you're feeling. Like, wow, I've got so many wins. I lifted so much today. I felt stronger. My energy was better. My hormones are working better. My health is so much better this week. I'm thinking clearer. Like it's not just how you're looking as well. It's also the other feelings inside and mentally as well. Like I'm not as angry, like I'm more calmer. There's so many benefits to transforming, not just how you look. Like, and I think people need to understand that as well. Like take that on board. Like you've got to win. Yeah, you didn't see the data change with your weight or your measurements, but you've seen other things progress. You're sleeping better. Like sleep is so important, and training helps with that as well. And your nutrition on top of that. So yeah, there's so many other wins.
So many. Okay, so our next one, you've just brought it up, is nutrition.
Yep.
Or food, or calories, or macros, or protein, or fats, or carbs. So let's talk about that.
Well, calories, a lot of people will demonize that as well. And you can't exclude calories. Calories is energy, and energy is in everything we eat. So when we track calories and macros, we work the best that person needs to benefit them with their transformation, their hormones. Like you could be not eating enough protein and it could be really dampening other things in your life, or it could be carbohydrates. Don't be scared of carbs. I'm going to say that. Don't be scared of carbs. And fats, we need good fats. There's so many different types of carbohydrates. Like you've got your vegetables, you've got your grains. And I always encourage my clients to micronutrients over just macros as well. Like you need the micronutrients in your food and the quality of your food to feel good. And when micronutrients are your vitamins, your minerals and things like that you need to really push a better, healthier body, and just your energy balance. Like if we have a lot of flexibility in the world today. When people say flexible dieting, oh, that person ate that, like they had a bit of, ice cream. Yeah, have a bit, but you need a lot of the quality side of your nutrition in order to feel good. And if your energy balance is better, you're going to perform better.
Yeah, that's exactly. It's like you're reading my mind today. When I want to talk about the next thing, you
Yeah.
actually are talking about the next thing.
Okay.
So with nutrition and stuff, when you do eat foods that are better for your body, you actually recover better.
That's
you
right. Yeah.
train better, and you actually enjoy training. Like you actually can push better, you can pull better, you can squat better. It's until people tie the two together. When you start eating, just a bit more protein, a bit more vegetables, really eat some carbs, like definitely females that eat carbs, but you do notice that just when you're in the gym, you're like, oh my God, I can pull this today, or I can push this today. And it's exciting.
Yeah, that's right. Like I have a client, like a client's example, like they might be on example, 1500 calories or 1800 calories, whatever the calories are. They're doing a fat loss. They're like, oh my, like the deficit will always be the deficit if they are in a deficit. No matter what calories you're eating, you're going to feel that deficit. But when you are in a deficit, I try to encourage them to eat quality foods because you're going to push better energy out. Yeah, you've got the flexibility of eating a bit, fun food, I should say. But yeah, just focus on your micronutrients, like I was saying before. Like if you're on 1500 calories, you're eating good quality food as opposed to eating 1500 calories on poor food, your energy balance is going to be way out, and you're not going to push that right energy that we need out, because we also need energy output in order to see results in a fat loss phase, so to speak. But even in a building phase, like if you're building and you're I'm going to call it a dirty bulk. If you're eating dirty food all the time, your energy is not going to be the same, and you won't get the best out of your training to really grow those muscles that you need.
Yeah. And when you eat dirty food or bad food or whatever people want to call it, you actually want more of it. So there comes
that's right. You crave more of it. Brain's like, oh my God, this is yum. I just want more. I've had it. I go through it.
Yeah.
I got to get myself out of it because I'm like, oh, okay, I'm enjoying too many, I've got a lot of calories at the moment, so I'm enjoying all the food. But yeah, it's sometimes it makes makes me not think clear, makes me not push the way I want to push. Recovery is so important, and sleep and stress. Like if your stress hormones are through the roof because you're not getting the good quality sources of food that you need, it's not going to help.
No. And I find that when I stay away from it now, because look, we're all different, right? So I know for me, when I used to try and look for something sweet, I personally used to try and go for the protein ice cream, or it's come a long way when I was in that kind of area of training and stuff.
Yeah.
Protein cookies. But personally, just for me, when I used to eat them, my cravings used to come back bigger and better, and then the whole next day my mindset was like, go on Barbara, go and have it. No, I can't. No, don't. Go and have it. Almost more so than if I just had the chocolate.
Yeah, that's right.
At the really dirty thing, when I was trying to look for a healthy alternative. Or
calories are calories too. Like you'll find that the marketing side of things, like you might look at something that looks healthy, but you're looking at all the additives and all the crap that's inside it, and the calories are probably a lot more than you're actually going to just have the chocolate. Get yourself over it. Rather than trying to find something that's a healthy alternative. And yeah, they mislead a lot of people too. And that's another thing, like when I say track your calories, it also helps teach you how to read labels a lot better. And the content behind when you're reading, your calories and your macros, because either it's kilojoules, calories, whatever they have on the label. And I think that's understanding, like people need to understand that. And I do have some people, they say, oh, I eat clean. Okay, but what is your source of clean? Like, what is your goal? Like if their goal is to lose fat, they say, I'm eating clean, so I'm doing all right. It might have been okay. It might have worked with you for a few months or a couple of years, but your body adapts, and you're at a stage now where you need to, be a bit smarter with your nutrition. Like track the calories, track the macros. It's not a bad thing. Like it teaches you how to understand portion sizes too. And it teaches you what you need for your body, not just I'm eating clean, but you could not be eating enough of, macros. It could be protein, it could be carbohydrates, it could be not enough for you, even though you're saying you're eating clean. Like what is clean? Like, you know, you can't really understand the way of when someone explains to you what is a clean food.
Yeah. Yeah. And then also when people say they eat clean, half the time, if they're not reading the ingredients or knowing what the preservatives are in the food, is they're actually eating they're eating a lot of sugar.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's so interesting.
Or they're eating too much. Like you could, you know, your goal is to lose fat. You could be eating a lot of whatever that clean food is. And you could, you know, just understanding to eat what your portion amount should be in order to achieve your results. Like example, like someone might go to me, you know, I had a healthy wrap. Okay, well, what was in the wrap? Like, explain to me what was in the wrap. I'm like, oh, okay, well, you know, I had this sauce, I had this chicken, and it could have been like 1,000-calorie wrap. I'm like, well, that probably would have been too much. And like having an understanding of, you know, create your own food too within your macros, it gives you more flexibility too to understand, oh, wow, like I didn't know that. Like people won't understand how much calories is actually in it and how much your body actually needs in order to achieve the results that you want.
Because we overfeed ourselves and undernourish ourselves these days.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And I find too that when you track the food, however you want to call it, is it gives you feedback to your body whether that food is suitable for you. So if you have tummy all the time,
like a diary, yeah. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say it's a bad thing. The app just makes it easier. It helps you to understand, like if you were to a log, you know, the old school way would be logging your food back in the day, like log what you've been eating so people can actually see, or your coach is seeing what you're. We got taught that in our school, like get your clients to log what they're eating on a piece of paper. And then these apps came along. It made everything so much easier.
Yeah, I'm still old school. I still write mine down.
Yeah, well, that's good.
I don't use the apps. I actually, when you're saying, oh, in the old days people write it down, I was like, oh, I write it down.
Yeah.
But it's food is really, I think it's they always say you can't out train a bad diet, right?
Yeah, it's true.
You
feel like crap. Like you go to the gym, you eat like crap, you're gonna feel like crap. It's just simple.
And food is sometimes the hardest thing to do in a transformation. It's not the training. Sometimes the consistency, you can kind of, okay, I'm gonna do the training, I'm gonna do the weights, I'm gonna do the cardio, but food can be really difficult for some people.
Food is so important. Like if I have someone come to me and they say, because I'll ask them, what's your most important goal? And it usually is fat loss. And then I'll have these other questions. Are you struggling with your nutrition, your mindset, and other things? And usually it's all the above. And I say to them, okay, well, let's work on one thing first. If you work on your nutrition, work on your mindset around nutrition, everything will just fall into place, and it becomes easier with training and keeping that drive to keep going to train. Because if you're just chucking yourself in the deep end, I just want to lose weight, weight or fat. They usually say weight. I try to teach them it's fat. You want to lose the fat. Weight on the scales will always change. They'll always fluctuate. But we want to transform to change their body composition. So we want to build some muscle and lose the fat that we can get off the body. But I teach them, I go, let's work on nutrition first. Let's work on feeding your body and fueling your body with what it needs to feel good. Like you want to feel good before just hitting it hard in the gym. Because if you're not feeling good and you're going into the gym, you're going to get out of that gym sooner than, rather than later.
And also, do you find it opens you up for injuries as well?
That's right. Yeah. Like if you're not feeding your body what it needs, you could pull some muscles, you could, not recover. And it could also affect the sleep that your body needs in order to recover. Like just not eating the right foods at the right time sometimes can help. So timing foods around training, like understanding that, which is what I like to teach, and a lot of coaches do these days, just eating at the right times. That's going to best suit you depending on your job, and what you need as an individual.
Yeah, it's so important. So we're looking at when people are coming to see you at the moment, are you seeing a common theme or a common reason why people would like to come and see you at the moment?
I have a lot of young girls at the moment that are wanting to build shape, and they're actually wanting to get educated, which I think is great. I'm talking between like the 20 and 30 categories. I do have some mums that, they're in the older age categories that do just want to lose, I think they're still in that old school way of thinking, like what they see on TV. I just want the quickest, fastest results. But with the younger women, I think he's great. Like they want to get educated on nutrition. They actually want to learn proper form, and they want to learn the basics, like the basic lifts, to actually transform their body. And I think social media is helping that in a good way. So social media is good because it is changing, and there is a lot of women out there that do help give a lot more knowledge on how to achieve a better long-term sustainable results. Like, instead of just always going, you see the marketing, like I delete it now, like I don't even look at it, and I always tell people just ignore it. It's just a marketing gimmick. It's the next thing, the next phase that people go through. And yeah, you can get quick results, but are you going to sustain those results? No, you don't. Everyone always ends up going backwards, or they end up worse than where they started. So I think, yeah, I have got a lot of young women, which I think is great. They want to learn. They actually really want to learn and educate themselves on, better overall nutrition and training.
That's good. Yeah. So when we talk about that, leads into when is a good time to start training. So
now.
you had clients, now. So your clients that were in
their
20s or 30s or 40s.
I've got women that have started in their 60s, their 50s. They've come to me. One client in particular, like she was a runner, and the doctor said, you've got to stop running. Like, it's becoming worse for her joints. Her joints became very brittle. So she resorted to weight training. I've seen some women start really young, and I think he's great. Don't be scared to start. Any age, honestly, any age, any time in your life. Don't wait for a perfect time. Like, you're always going to wait for that perfect time. If you can fit 1 or 2 days into your day just to learn proper technique and training, weight training, I'm always going to encourage weight training over cardio first. But do the cardio that you enjoy, because it is good for your cardiovascular. But learn to get your body strong. It can help change your metabolism. It can boost it a lot better. Just changing your overall body with weight training.
And what do you think of the benefits of having someone like you in their life, like a coach or a trainer or something? What do you think of the benefits?
Education on learning to better understand how you can do this on your own in the future too. Not just, I need my coach to help me to get through it. No, I'm just there to give you the tools to help you understand how to train, how to eat, and how to sustain it, and how to, continue this on your own as well, because I'm not always going to be there. Like, you might go, do your own thing in the future. The benefits of having a coach like me, I like to help educate people, to help them understand, better ways of sustaining their results and continue to do it on their own eventually. Some people, they end up sticking with me for a long time. They need that accountability, and I think is great too, but they learn so much from it. Proper training, proper nutrition.
Yeah, I think it's about building a relationship too, because this is this is emotional stuff. So
having the support,
having someone that knows what it's like to get started, having someone that doesn't judge you, I think, and is like genuinely there to help, I think is really helps, because it's hard. Like, we keep saying through this podcast, it's hard. We don't want to put anyone off, but having the right person next to you, I'm sure when you train some people for competitions and that, having the right person next to you can make you or break you.
Yeah, it does. Like, when I've done a transformation a while ago, and I'm like, I used a friend of mine just to help me with accountability, because it had been a while. It was during COVID, and I was going to compete in October. I think it was last year, but the show's cancelled. We went through the lockdown. I'm like, okay, I need accountability. That accountability helped me, just having that support, because I've always coached myself. I haven't really had anyone to kind of be accountable to. I did everything that my clients did with my friend. I'm like, I'll do everything. I just need you to be there, even though you're not really doing much, just to be there to say, I'm accountable to you, because it'll help me get through it mentally. I went through a bit of a low, so it helped. It actually helped.
It's nice, isn't it?
Support, just knowing that someone's there to help me.
Yeah, exactly. So let's talk a little bit about competition. So you also, part of what you do is you help competitors get ready for bodybuilding.
Yeah, that's right. I love it. Like, I love competing, and competing is a sport. It's not a way to get into competing like, oh, I just want to transform and sustain that physique. No, you've got to separate the two. Competing is a sport, and that's it. It's very competitive. It's fun. You've got to enjoy it. But don't go into a sport where you think, oh, I want to look like that on stage and I'm going to have that results and keep those results. No, like it's not sustainable. It's very unhealthy to stay like that. But it's like, it's fun. It's so challenging. And it's a sport. It's like if someone was to go play footy, they've got to do all the hard training, every night of the week to get where they have to be to win those games. And it's the same on stage. Yeah, treat it as a sport. I do coach a few women in competitive in competition prep, and they love it. They love the challenge. It teaches you a lot about self-discipline, and it puts you in a whole new level of, you can achieve this, and they do achieve it. And they love the sport. It's a sport and no more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's not, you hit the nail on the head when you said, if you want to look like someone on stage, you can easily let people know what they have to do to look like that. And most of the time, 9 out of 10 people go, oh, no. Like this. Here's a list of what you've got to do consistently every day for 6 months.
Yeah, and you give up a lot. Like, but you have to want to do it. Like, if you don't want to do it, and if it's too hard, don't do it. If you're not ready for it, don't do it. But it's not just the conditioning on stage too. It comes down to posing and symmetry, and what the judges actually look for. It's symmetrical. Like, they want to see the best symmetrical look on stage, and you're judged on everything. It's stage presence. Like, it's not just, oh, that person. Like, example, I've been to so many shows, and I might have my husband with me, and he goes, why didn't he win? He had such a good physique. I'm like, it's the overall points that they point on. So it's not just how conditioned you are. Like, how was your posing? How was your stage presence on stage? Like, they want to see a show. How was everything on stage? How was your tan? Like, I've had feedback on some clients that the tan might have been a bit blotchy. Like, they pick up on every single detail. But that's the sport. Like, you're going in there to bring the whole package on stage to look your absolute best.
Yeah, it's really interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Social media glamorize it a little bit too, that people always see the end bit and we're like, oh, I want to look like that. That's so beautiful, amazing. But
they don't see the hard work that they've all gone through, or the build phase that they've gone through. Yeah, they've gone through this little, fluffy stage. They don't see that. They post a lot of, their stage shots too. So yeah, a lot of the hard work is actually done before the prep. So you have to build that shape to get yourself ready before prep, and then lose all the fat that you need to before stage.
Yeah. So being a mum and a business owner, Beck, how do you fit it all in?
Sometimes I go, I can't do this anymore. I just want to give up. No, I love what I do, and I don't ever want to give it up. And I think just because I have a drive to help others and really pursue what I've set myself out to from the very beginning, like when I first told you, I just wanted to change my life. I make do, and I do have a really supportive husband, thank God. I make do, and I've throughout the years, actually, like with online coaching too, like I had ways of my, God, this is taking so much time away from me. I can't do this. And then I thought about stopping PT, and I thought, no, I can do this. I've just got to learn. I've got to learn to structure things that's going to best suit me. And I make do. I find the way to do it. It is hard. It's challenging, but it's what I love. And if you love something with a passion, you're going to make it happen. And example, like if you want to transform, you really want it, you're going to make it happen. You're not going to have any excuses in front of you and to go, I can't do it because this is too hard, or that's getting in my way, or my kids are getting in the way. Like, I love what I do, and I think just having the support too helps with my husband, so which is a win.
And everything that you've shared today, do you find that it all kind of relates? So how you did your transformation and how you've got your business and what you do, throughout the whole podcast, it's gone in stages. You start here and you go to the next stage. You're still learning. You go to the next stage with the transformation, with your health, but also it's the same as your business. You start here, the stages. And I think when you transform your mind and your body and your health and your fitness, or whether you're a business owner or a mum, I think it all relates that you've got to start from somewhere, but you're always learning. You know, you've got to go with the flow sometimes, but you're always, always learning and always adapting and always changing.
Yeah, like learning about how marketing is these days, which is so different. I used to base a lot of my clientele off referrals, and it could have been old school marketing, like, you know, PayPal, or, you know, an ad somewhere, like just keeping up to date with the new age. Like, I have to learn. If I don't push myself to learn it, there's been times I'm like, I don't want to do this. I can't stand it. Like, I hate social media sometimes.
Yeah.
But I've got to keep up with it, and it's put me in a new spot to, you know, out of my comfort zone again. If I don't push myself to keep up to date with things, then yeah, I'm not going to learn. I'm not going to pursue. I'm not going to continue to do what I love. I've got to do the work like everyone else, and it's always changing. It's forever changing.
Yeah, and do you find that when you said push through, you have to do the same when you train, when you're doing that next
That's
rep,
right. Yeah.
You're pushing through, you know, learning about nutrition, and it's hard because it may be a different way that you've ever eaten before.
Yeah, like even back in the day, I used to, like, we got taught the basics of macros, and then actually diving into, like, science is always changing too. And if you're not keeping up to date with science and what is actually working, then you're going to fall behind. Then you're going to fall in that trap of, oh, you know, I'll just stick to what I know. No, you can't. Like, you have to teach yourself to learn to keep up to date with the new age, how you put it.
Yeah, no, exactly. And so if my listeners would like to get in contact with you, or they'd like to work with you, how can they find you?
Yeah, absolutely. You can go to my website. It's www.becksfitness.com. And there's a lot about me on there as well. You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Or you can just send me a DM on one of the social media pages. But yeah, check out my website, guys. Like, it's been updated to a bit. So I haven't announced it yet, so I'm still fixing things. But there's also a little video on there about me and about a bit about my life as well. And you guys got to see a lot more on here as well on this podcast, which is I'm really grateful for. It's been interesting. I was so nervous. I'm just going to be upfront.
Oh, no, you don't.
But you know what? I'm getting out of my comfort zone here as well. And I think just opening my heart up to new people, connecting with people, it's challenging. And sometimes I used to be very reserved when I was young. But if I don't challenge myself to really open myself up to people, I'm not going to move in life. I'm not going to move forward in life. And I want to keep moving forward in life. I want to keep learning just like anyone else. So this helped me, Barb.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad. But you've helped me, because I just love everything that you do. I love your voice and how you use it and how you really transform people's lives, because people really need you.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I do my best just to be who I am, be authentic. I'm not perfect. No one is. And if you're trying to be perfect, trying to be someone you're not, like, you're going to fail. Like, you're going to fall off the wagon quicker than you think. But it's okay to fail, because if you're not failing, you're not learning. And I think that's important as well.
Yeah. And I really believe that everyone I have on my podcast, I only have experts in their field. And the reason why I have that is because I know it's really hard and vulnerable and scary to take the first step to reach out to a trainer or a coach like you. And there's so many people out there that do this in my field or your field that do this for other reasons, which they're not really genuinely helping people. They may give the same food plan to everyone. They may just give the same training plan to everyone. And I've been to so many gyms where I've seen trainers on their phones. Oh, yeah, 10 more. Not looking at the client's form, not helping the client, and literally really disengaged.
I try to, that's what I do. Like, I offer personalized assistance, like coaching, like it's personally, like it has to be personalized in order for that person to achieve what they need. But it's not just about losing fat or losing, or building muscle. Like there's so many aspects of the person's transformation. That has to be taken into account, like to understand that client very deeply, actually. And yeah, so there is a lot of generic training programs, training gimmicks. It could be good for a little while, but you're going to be lost and you end up, going, and then you'll end up falling off the wagon very quickly.
Yeah,
I always encourage investing to yourself. It's not going to be a bad investment. There's a lot of value involved in it, and yeah, just invest into yourself because it's going to help with your education.
100%.
And you learn more about yourself as well, just having that support with someone, with training, nutrition, and like, wow, like I'm able to do this. Like they learn more about themselves as a human being going through that transformation. I'm sure you get a lot of it too, just in what you do.
Yeah.
Teaching people about themselves, how to be a better you. That's all it really is. There's no perfect way of trying to transform. Like it's how to be the best you can be, the best self. Like be your best self in this life journey. This life is such a long journey, and there's so many things I want to achieve in life. I might be somewhere else, next year. Who knows?
Yeah,
that's how it is.
Yeah, and to also, before we go, just say that a lot of people can look at coaches like myself or you or whatever, and like we've all had a past, and we've all partied hard, drunk a lot, smoked a lot, I've been exactly the same.
Yeah.
And you do get to that point where you go, well, I can keep doing this, or and then when you start to learn how it feels to feel good,
you don't want to go back. No, that's my biggest fear, is feeling how I used to feel, going back to where I was. Like that was harder. I'd rather have other challenges put forth in front of me, that's going to better me, not dampen me. So that's the biggest fear, is going backwards, like going back to where I was mentally. Yeah,
you never would, because you've built that building block, you've built these habits, you've built these non-negotiables in your life that you'll keep going, and you're such a great role model for people. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been such a pleasure, and I know that a lot of people listening, I hope they're going to get in contact with you, but I know that they've learned. I know there's a lot of my clients and people that I know that are just have a real fear of transformation, transforming their body, have a real fear of lifting weights, have a real fear of going into the gym.
Yeah, that fear in life is in everything that we try to achieve or try to think about that we want. As long as we can push past that fear, life is amazing. Like keep pushing past the fear, and transformations will happen in all aspects of your life, your career, your wealth, your health, your mind, everything. When you're feeling good, you might have a better goal with, your career. Like who knows what it is. Like it's only going to benefit you when you are feeling good and you're pushing past that fear barrier. Yeah, life is amazing.
Yeah, it is. All right. Well, thank you so much, and enjoy your day.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed today's episode and it has inspired you on your self-care journey. Please feel free to share this with a friend and subscribe over on Apple Podcast. I really love hearing your feedback. So guys, please feel free to write a review on Apple and let me know which part of this episode resonated with you the most. To fall in love with yourself is the first secret to happiness. To find out a bit more about Self-Care Studio or the Studio Chat podcast, head over to my Instagram page, self_care_studio, or on my website, selfcarebybarbarathomson.com.au. Really look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Look after you, and I'll catch you soon. Bye!